A tragic wake-up call for one mother 1,700 miles away. Receiving news her 4 children lost their lives in a fire in Porterville. What preliminary investigations are revealing about this fire and how you can help as she prepares for one final goodbye from her children.
Frustration is now at an all-time high for families and leaders of Fresno County as the amount of sex offenders living in residential areas continues to grow.
Individuals, that we are going to control what you're doing. We're not going to let you just run wild within these residential neighborhoods.
Why county leaders say a state law has made it challenging to reduce the number of offenders living in one area, and why they're hopeful a newly proposed ordinance can help crack down on the amount of criminals living near families.
It was pitched as a way to help seniors pass down property without steep property taxes. But now a group of homeowners is saying Proposition 19 was deceitful. We'll explain the changes that they are now demanding.
And more fog and some low-hanging clouds out there. Coming up, we'll track your visibilities and talk about yet another dense fog advisory.
You're watching Fox 26, and now, great day.
Good Tuesday morning. We begin this hour with a live look at downtown Fresno. Just trust us, it's there. Today's high in Fresno will be 45 degrees. Again, as Justin mentioned, low-lying clouds, fog.
Again.
Lather, rinse, repeat. More of the same from yesterday. That's one of those indicators when you're driving in, coming up northbound 99, is if you can see the old Security Bank building, Pacific Southwest building, you're like, okay, it's gonna be a clear day. If you can't, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
At least in a couple of hours, you'll be in real trouble.
Yeah. I mean, it's the fog is mostly going to be again fairly low for us. It's going to be to the really in the hills out there. So not much happening on out there. But anyway, that's Carl. That's Liz. I'm Justin. Thank you for joining us this morning. And here's what's going on. Current conditions right now. It's 42 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be very cold out there yet again for us here. Northwest winds at 5 miles an hour. Dew points at 39. And here's what's going on with the day. 43 at 10, 44 at noon, 45 today. Yeah, we're not going to break 50 again, at least here in Fresno anyway. And those low-hanging clouds going to be hanging on for. If you see the sun out there, let us know. We've been looking for it for a couple weeks now. And yeah, coming up next, we got to talk about this dense fog advisory here. Some details that you might want to know about coming up.
Heartbreak in the South Valley this morning after a fire claimed the lives of 5 people, 4 of them young children. Porterville's fire chief tells us that crews were called to that home on Indiana Street near Poplar Avenue just before 11:30 Sunday night for reports of that fire. He says crews were there within 2 minutes, but that trailer was already covered in flames. Investigators confirm 1 adult and 4 children ages 1 to 5 died in the fire. We spoke with the mother of the children who died in that fire. It was a little after 2 Monday morning when Krista Lewis says she got the worst call a mother could receive. She lost all 4 of her children in the fire: 1-year-old William, 2-year-old Buckley, 3-year-old Charlie, and 5-year-old Ruby. Lewis now lives in Arkansas and says the only thing she wants is to bring her children home.
I don't want them to be in the dark, and I don't want them to be alone, and I want to be there with them. My children were my best friend, and I shouldn't be having to do this. But instead of buying Christmas presents, I'm buying urns.
Investigators are still working to determine the cause of that fire. Friends say that the father killed in the fire was named Cody. Porterville's fire chief says that this call was devastating.
His kids meant everything to him. There's not something that he would do that his kids weren't involved in, you know. There's pictures on his Facebook of them just underneath the truck working, you know, torquing wrenches together.
Our thoughts are with the families and with the community in this time of need. And my thoughts are with our firefighters. You know, our firefighters were devastated by this call, and we have implemented our peer support team to provide counseling to our firefighters.
At least one firefighter at that department that I know did say this was the hardest call he's ever had to attend to. The family has asked that anyone willing to donate funds during this time to please do it to the Porterville Funeral and Cremation Center. Starting at 12:30 today, the center will begin to accept donations in person or over the phone. The center shared that it will be waiving all service fees for the family, so incoming donations will help to take care of the rest. If you'd like to help, you can find that information on our website at kmph.com. Happening today, the Fresno County Board of Supervisors will vote on a newly proposed ordinance. This one aimed at capping the amount of sex offenders allowed to live under one roof. Fresno County leaders say families have dealt with an oversaturation of registered sex offenders, many living together inside transitional homes operating in single-family neighborhoods. Under current California law, the county cannot stop sex offenders from living in these areas, but county supervisors say they can limit how many can live under one roof. The proposed ordinance would cap it at 6 sex offenders and create misdemeanor penalties for property owners who violate it.
The deputies and law enforcement go in there, and there are more than 6 people in there. There's been tons of people in there. This is going to be cracking down on that. Sex offenders should not be living in neighborhoods where they can reoffend.
Supervisors point to one operator, Centers for Living, run by a man named John Coyle, who's accused of repeatedly ignoring occupancy limits. The ordinance would add fines of up to $10,000 for a first violation, up to $50,000 for repeated ones, in addition to the 6 sex offender per single housing unit limit. Now, if the board signs off on the ordinance at today's meeting, the new rules would take effect in about 30 days. We did reach out to John Coyle, the man who supervisors say operates all 6 of these Centers for Living facilities. We did not hear back. Now, this lack of sex offender regulation comes after Jessica's Law was relaxed in 2015. Jessica's Law was a California measure that banned registered sex offenders from living within 2,000 feet of schools or parks, but the state Supreme Court ruled that those restrictions were unconstitutional and overturned it. This eliminated the buffer zones and limited just how much control local governments have over where sex offenders can live. County leaders say that ruling tied their hands for years, and this new ordinance is one of the few tools that they actually have left.
It's 5:06 now, and here's what's going on with the fog. It's going to be a lot like it was yesterday. Visibilities aren't terrible in Fresno area. We got 2-mile visibility, 3 miles in the South Valley. They're not that bad up in Merced. But the area we're really focusing on is around the hills. We get these low-lying clouds there. You get above that, and it just looks like a sea of fog. You see above it, you see the sun. There's some great stuff out there that's been online. People have been sharing photos with us, and it just looks amazing from up top. But here, in the middle of it, not so great here. So we do have a dense fog advisory here for you here. And again, same pattern here, reissued just like it was yesterday, all along the hills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, cupping up down in south of Bakersfield there and on the west side of I-5. It's in effect until 11 o'clock this morning here. Quarter-mile visibility in those areas. One thing to note about where this fog is you could get some sudden walls of fog as you're winding through these roads. It can be clear, and all of a sudden you turn the corner and just bam, fog. And that's what the National Weather Service is most concerned about there. So please be careful if you're driving around in some of these areas, heading up 152 over the pass there, and then maybe along the west side of I-5, especially down in Bakersfield there. Please be careful out there as you're driving in the fog this morning. All right, so any precip out there? Well, the short answer is no. We got some high pressure that's kind of steering all that moisture above into the Pacific Northwest and around, but we're getting some cool air from that still coming in from the north, keeping our temperatures below normal, and some of that high pressure really kind of capping. It's kind of an inversion there, capping that Thule fog really over the entire valley here. So we're kind of stuck in that pattern there. As far as any actual rain, well, we got to get all the way ahead to about Monday there. That band of moisture there that's going to be hanging out in the Pacific in the latter parts of this week, they're going to start to work its way in, and we could see a little bit of it come in. Judging by this, it's probably just going to be a couple of sprinkles, nothing crazy out of it, but we'll keep an eye out at any developments with that. Temperature-wise, here's what we got for you. Staying below normal. Yeah, again, normal is 56. We're at 45 today, so that's 11 degrees below normal there. 46 tomorrow, 51 on Thursday, upper 30s, low 40s overnight. And yes, we are expecting fog each morning the rest of the week. Up next, we'll get a look at the rest of your highs and lows for your Tuesday.
Time is now 5:08. Advocates here in California are now taking steps to roll back parts of Proposition 19. Why those opposed to the prop say a large number of people are now losing homes that have been passed down to their families for generations. And a live look now at El Capitan with this live view of Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. Beautiful picturesque sight. It is 5:09 and 39 degrees there right now. You can find new headlines and the weather forecast on your screen all morning long, even during the commercial break.
Hi, I'm Monty Torres with Fox 26 News on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel, where we have loads of great content for you to choose from. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button right here? That way you can stay in touch with all the latest breaking news, everything news related within the Central Valley. And thank you for watching.